Hey guys, it's September 25th, 2019. I'm recording this at almost 10 o'clock at night. Um, I've been really wanting to do some more stuff with a blog that's more of a talking, speaking sort of interaction and less writing. Writing takes me a lot longer than it would to communicate something just by telling you a story. And I also have trouble with going to sleep at night despite how tired I am during the day. So that's just one of my struggles. But I've just been thinking a little bit recently about trusting in the Lord. And sometimes that's a really hard thing to do, especially when problems or things in your life seem a lot bigger than what you can handle by yourself. It's easy for us to say that we trust in the Lord when we can handle things on our own, but when that problem seems overwhelming and so much bigger than you can take care of or what even seems possible to come out of, it's really hard to let go and really trust. And I've got a lot of, stuff going on in my personal life that some of you guys know about. Just going through a divorce and a bankruptcy. But it's a lot more stressful than, I was originally anticipating that it was going to be. And I've had some really difficult things happen recently in the last week or two. And I've had some really low points. Just being honest with you guys. But the hardest thing for me was trying to get everything all figured out and doing everything in my own strength. And I just couldn't let go. And one night I was praying, which, I haven't really been doing as much recently. But I was praying and I was like, God, I'm so frustrated. It just seems like everything's against me and nothing's going my way. And it just felt like the Lord was saying, do you trust me? And, you want to give the yeah, of course I trust you answer. But, it's the deep down, no, but do you really trust me? Do you trust me enough to let it go and trust that I'm going to take care of you? And the specific situation that we were kind of talking about was me losing my car as part of the bankruptcy, which wasn't part of the original plan. But the judge really, thought that it would be better for me to really get a good, fresh, clean start. And everyone in my life that is in some form of leadership, they agreed with the judge I needed to let it go. But when your checkbook's pretty empty and you need a way to get back and forth to work, that's kind of scary, just to let your vehicle go, because that's a really important part of being able to do life, is being able to get back and forth to places. And I'd gone to all these car dealerships and tried to get loans and just doing everything in my power to try to make it work. And I finally reached a point over the weekend where I was like, you know what? I've got to let it go. It's like I'm just going to let it go, God. And I'm just going to trust that you're going to take care of me. And one of the scariest things I've ever done, but you know what? He's faithful to take care of us. And I really learned the value and the importance of community in this season of my life, because I don't have a lot of family, but I've got a lot of good people, a lot of good coworkers, and a lot of good friends that I go to church with, and people that I do martial arts with, and they have loved on me through this season of my life. And community is so important, just to staying grounded and keeping your hope up and your faith up. But I just had a situation, right after I told the lawyer, like, yeah, go ahead, fill out the paperwork, we're going to let it go. And somebody was like, oh, hey, you could borrow, this car probably. And then someone else was like, oh, well, I could sell you a car for like $1,000. And it's, a similar car that I'd been looking to online that was going to cost me like $6,000 or $7,000. And, none of that's like come to an end yet. But, the fact that there are multiple options and that things are working out is so encouraging. And I think in the end of this season, I'm going to look back and really be excited and really be thankful and almost laugh about, how difficult this seemed. But I really feel like the struggle was in the not trusting and the wanting to do everything myself. And, for some of us, it's really hard to ask for help. So there's that side of thing where you don't want to ask friends for help. But on the other side of that coin is you trust that God's going to take care of you. And I thought I did, and I realized that there was a layer of me that did not trust that he was going to take care of me. I thought I had to do it in my own power, but I feel like in this season that he's showing me that. And so I just want to encourage you guys today that if you're facing something that just seems impossible, like, let it go. It's going to be like the hardest thing, to do is to let it go and just say, God, I trust that you're going to take care of the situation, and watch how he's going to come through because he is. And he always does, and it's always like almost too good to be true because he's that good to us. So that's kind of, a big part of what's going on this week. But something else that I've really been kind of pondering is just, what is my goal and my purpose in life? I feel like everything that I want for my life and everything that I want to do and everything I want to be is so much bigger than I would ever be capable of achieving in my lifetime. I have so many dreams and goals and aspirations and things I want to do and ministries I want to get involved with and work I want to do that might not be exactly related to what I do in my job right now as a scientist, which I absolutely love. I love that God has given me a heart for the medical industry and the brain, to understand the science and stuff. But I also have a really big heart for mental health and helping people find freedom. And I want to write books, and I want to work in a church. I want to do administrative work for a church. I want to counsel people. I want to help people that are hurting. And I want to be a really good mom to my son. Like, I want to be present and involved in his life every day. And if I look at all of that, plus some other stuff that is just small, on a way smaller scale that I want to do, it seems overwhelming. And it's like, God, I'm never going to get all of this done. Like, I'm going to feel unfulfilled in my life when I get to the end. And I can say this, I'm really excited to see how God is going to redeem everything and how he's going to pull all these different things and desires that he has in my heart. He's going to pull them together, and I'm going to see, that want, that desire, come together in some way that my brain can't even fathom or comprehend yet, but it's going to happen one day because he placed those desires in my heart for a reason. And he does that for all of us. There's a purpose that you were put on this earth for, and you're unique and your giftings and your desires and your influence that you have, and your wants and how you communicate with people. Like, you're a special person in so many ways, and God did that so intentionally so that you would fit a piece of this puzzle that the world needs. And I think all of our lives are like that. And I was just listening to a podcast from our church. I go to the Oaks Church here in Auburn, Alabama, and I was listening to this last Sunday's sermon on overcoming, and it was talking about how, at the end, to the one who overcomes, like, the Lord's going to give them a stone, and it's a white stone, and on it's a name, or a new name for us, and it's a name that only we will know. And Pastor Josh was just talking about how that name is related to our identity and who we are. Like, he knows the depths of who we are, like that desire, that longing that we have in our heart, that place, that thing we want to fulfill in life. Like, God put that there, and when we get to heaven, we're gonna have like a bigger picture of what that is. But how awesome would it be to get to see all of that come to place here on earth. So anyways, it's a Wednesday night, so I hope you guys are having a really great week. If you're liking these little voice messages, please let me know. I know this one's run a lot longer than the last one. We're at about 12 minutes now. So you guys stay encouraged. Have a good week. Keep your chin up, because brighter days are coming. All right. Talk to you guys later.